What if I told you that one of my students, Zach, have taught me something that could literally double your business revenue without spending any more money on ads or doing any extra work? Yeah, literally, no extra work whatsoever. And I'll be honest, when I first heard this, I was so skeptical and doubted that this will actually work. And just said, yeah, go on then. What have you got to lose at the end of the day? However, I was proven to be wrong because the very next month, he more than doubled his revenue from his own online business. And I'm not joking, like literally doubled his money. All right, let me tell you the story on how this actually happened. First of all, we have to understand that with all of my students, I jump on a monthly call. This is basically used where all of them just basically tell me where they're at in their business, what support do they need from me to reach their revenue goals. And to be honest, between me and you, it's more like an accountability thing. When you know you have someone to answer to about the deliverables you have set for yourself, the chance of you actually doing them goes up massively. Now, to give you a bit of background before I came into the picture, Zach was getting most of his clients through Instagram here and there, and all of his mentorship was done via WhatsApp. And for that privilege, he was charging his clients £899. And on our very first call, his two biggest problems were not getting enough clients, and the clients that were getting constantly kept bothering him on WhatsApp 24/7. Now, I don't know about you, but I think even the best coaches out there do need to take some time off every now and then. So the first thing we did was build up a brand new offer for him, built out a landing page and a few lead magnets to help him with his YouTube strategy. All of the things that you need to do in order to start getting a consistent flow of clients. And on top of that, I told him to start doing TikTok lives. See, back in my e-commerce coaching days, TikTok lives were very good for my business because unlike a 30-second or even a 10-minute scripted video where you can only provide as much value as possible in a relatively short period of time, on a TikTok live, you actually get to speak to people and you get to answer their questions, build rapport, and just show that you know what you're talking about. And guess what? It worked. All of these changes took place and he did over 10K the very following month. Now, most people would be really happy with these numbers. I mean, think about it. You go from just making a few sales per month to all of a sudden making 5 figures in 1 month, and more importantly, just getting your life back. But no, Zach, he wanted more. So the very next month he goes, you know what? I'm going to try something new and I haven't seen anyone doing it. He tells me that I have a student who has done really well from my coaching and wants to start social media as well. So why don't I tell him to push all of the traffic that he gets to my offer and we can then split the profits? And I said, yeah, sure, I guess. In the back of my head thinking, he won't get any traffic. He's literally just starting out. And on top of that, how are you going to manage and teach another person and how the whole system works so quickly? Well, glad to say I was wrong. His students not only started social media, but started to absolutely smash it out the park, with some of his TikTok lives getting even more views than Zach. Needless to say that all of these views turned into sales very fast. So much so that his business more than doubled his revenue, and now we have to adjust all of our target revenue numbers for the end of the year because he pretty much reached them already, and we're only 6 months in. And just when you stop and think about it, this is a win-win situation for both parties. The student gets to make thousands of pounds from literally just doing TikTok lives and answering a few questions. I mean, think about it, not bad for a few hours of work. And Zach is winning too because he's now getting all these new students to mentor without doing any more work. So if it is working for them, why would it not work for you? Also, there's a hidden benefit to this strategy that we both stumbled across. See, if you have an online business, most of the time people will buy from you that are able to relate to you in some kind of way. For example, back in my day, most people that bought from me were 90% male, 90% of them came from Europe, with majority of them being in the UK, and almost all of them were between the 25 to 40-year-old age range. That means women, people outside of Europe, or people in a different age range just weren't interested in my offer. But think about it. What would happen if I partnered up with a creator in a completely different demographic? All of a sudden, all these new people who I would never be able to convert would start joining my program. I genuinely now think that once you have your core offer all figured out and a system in place, getting a few of these partners who can bring in extra revenue is one of the easiest ways to get more clients. And you're doing so reliably without spending any more money on content or ads. Because think about it, they only get paid if you get paid.